podcast we on tonight for all y'all mothers that are not having a good Mother's Day.
We in there. We can start recording whenever.
All right. And
Hey man, make sure you don't say breast this time.
niggas, don't even bring it up. Come on,
Damn,
bro.
boy. We can't be talking about breasts on Mother's Day, man.
I mean, sure, you got breastfed by your mama.
No, I didn't.
Me either.
I did.
That's why you're not doing the prayer.
Talk about your mama's breasts and stuff.
All right. Come on, y'all.
All right.
And what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the After 29 podcast, episode 15. Dear Mama, I'm Vincent Dunstane, a.k.a. Minister V. Let's get this conversation going, guys.
Mazio Boone in the building.
It's your boy Malcolm Davis, man of steel.
Clayton Foster, big shoulder brother in the building.
All right, guys, let's go in prayer. Eternal God, our Father, we come to you on this Friday evening, Lord, to give your name honor, glory, and praise, Lord. Lord, we are doing a special episode, just paying homage to all the mothers in our lives and the mothers of our children, Lord. We just thank you for all those mother figures, Lord, that you have put in our lives, that have guided us, that have reared us, Lord, and taught us lots of things in this world, Lord. Lord, we thank you for these strong women, Lord, that you have put around us, Lord. We thank you for the time that we've been able to share with them on this earth, Lord. We just ask that you will bless them, Lord. Give them strength, give them courage, Lord, as they continue to live their lives, Lord. Even those that are still raising children, Lord, we ask that you will just give them strength and, Lord, give them the wisdom to just, guide their children in the way that they should go, Lord. We ask that you will bless this podcast, bless everything that is said, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys, let's get it. I'm glad we got that on the first take. We didn't have to do that, 20 times. Dear Mama, man, we're talking about all the mothers in our lives, be it our own moms, a mom figure, whether it be aunties, grandmothers, and also, the guys said, they want to talk about, the moms of their children, their wives, so we're going to, like I said, we're going to pay, homage to all of them, and, we want to give them their flowers while they're still here, those that are still here, we want to give them their flowers when they can receive them, and just let them know that overall, thank you, I think, is the message that should be taken away tonight. Just thank you. As we jump in, just a quick thing, about my mom. I really just want to say thank you. We'll get to a little bit more in depth later on in the show, but I wouldn't be the man that I am today without my mother, my father too. But this is about moms. Guys, what values, as we think about moms and the roles that they've played in our lives and everything that's going on, what values did your mom instill in you, that are still valuable to this day? Why you look lost, bro?
No, I thought you was gonna start first. All right, my bad. All right. But yeah, to first start off, my mom gave me my name, like what my name means. It put a lot of pressure on me, but it also put fire in me to, be motivated to be the best that I can be. Which my name means is whatever comes my way, I can overcome it. And the obstacle that I face, I can always succeed and overcome that. But she instilled in me to never give up. When I start something, give it 100% and see it to the end. So, and of course she instilled a lot of other things like saving and different things like that. But yeah, so.
Well, I think my mother instilled a lot in me, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I was primarily raised by my grandmother, so all this wholesome young man here with my values and everything I got from my grandma, man. My grandma, we used to have many conversations. I think I drove her crazy a lot. She probably tried to put me out the house a few times too as well. But I definitely learned from my grandmother, man. I really think I'm really well mannered now because of her.
You think so?
I think so.
Nah, he is. Good.
There's tons of things that I learned from my mom. I think one major thing that sticks out to me, I think that my faith wouldn't be where it is without her. Because I remember when we was younger, like she would make us go to church, we'd be in the bed, not wanting to go. She coming to make us go, and I appreciate it now. Like back then, I was like, I don't want to go, but I appreciate it now because I think without her, I wouldn't.
Now you can get up and go on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. She gave me a job to get it for myself, and I think that's where it started. Like, so that's one of the many things that I think I value from her.
So, I would say one of the main things that my mom instilled in me that I still, hold valuable to this day and that I keep with me is, a lot of times, most people say that they draw strength, from their dads, which don't get me wrong, I did and I do. But there's a particular strength that I saw in my mom that she kind of instilled in me, and that was literally you don't let none defeat you. And I've seen my mom, deal with so many different things and go through so many different things in her life, and and when I compared her to other people, and I saw other people dealing with certain things and how they was folding under pressure, and and this lady literally went on day to day like nothing got to her. Like she got up, she did it, whatever she had to do, and like she didn't fuss about it, she didn't cry about it. She just went on with a smile on her face and just did what she had to do. So that was one of those things that in my life, especially like now in my 30s, like when obstacles come my way, and of course my faith being the foundation of that, but that strength that I witnessed in her, man, I carry that every single day, man. Like I'm like, look, if she did it with all the things that she had going on, and she had 3 small children, and it won't easy with especially with a child like me. I was mischievous, sometimes, so and sometimes a little too smart for my own good, so but I thank her for that strength, man. Like I drew on that strength like all my life. Like there's nothing that can come my way, man, that I can't overcome, man. So I definitely appreciate that, man. I hold on to that, man. So like I cannot, I cannot like wake up a day and be like, man, I just can't do it, because I saw her do it all. Mm-hmm. So I know that I can too, bruh. So and with that, man, so we talk about some of the things that our moms instilled in us, man. Like, just talk about your moms, not anything you really want to say, but just talk about your mom, just as a person. Like, what was she like, and we'll get to the next section of that, when we talk about like the mother of our children. But your mom, like, just talk about like who she is as a woman.
So, I mean, even though I was mainly raised by my grandmother, but I'll just talk about my mom. She was a very strong head. Well, she's a very strong.
Well, and grandmas too.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm trying to like make it short between for the both of them.
You ain't gotta make it short, man.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we ain't doing this on VHS, bro. We got time. We got gigabytes over here, bro.
Terabytes.
So talking about my
Excuse
mother, me. She's a very strong-headed woman, and I mean she is a go-getter. Like she doesn't wait for nobody. So if she has a plan and she wants to go after something, she's gonna get it. And it's nothing that can stop her from getting or achieving her goals or whatever. I mean, a very loving person. I mean, it's definitely about family. Loves all of her kids. I mean, even me. Even though I know a lot of times I've been hard-headed, but yeah, I mean, she wants the best for her kids. And the thing that she told me was that the thing that makes her the most happiest is to see that all of her kids are making it and succeeding in life. And and the thing is, like, for the African culture. Like moms, like now, like American moms, I mean, yeah, they'll help you out or whatever, or just like give you advice. But for her, like, if you need like anything, she'll do whatever she can to like get you the help that you need. But, and then my grandmother, I mean, both of them are pretty much similar. My grandmother was a very strong woman, very independent, and very strong Christian woman and whatnot. So, I mean, yeah, so both of them were awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say this about my mother, man. My mother was tough, man. She always gave you tough love, man. My mama wasn't the one that would tell you that she loved you, but you knew she did.
Yeah.
But she was always tough, and I think that's what made me tough about things. And my grandma is a G. So she gonna tell you how she feel, when she feel it, and all those things. My grandma would wake me up in the middle of the night just to do some things for her. And but my grandma has the biggest heart of anybody. I would tell you that. No matter who you are, she would do whatever she could do for you. She never kicked my friends out my house
She
ever.
probably should have.
Probably should have kicked them out of my house. And she would cook for anybody, man. She would definitely cook for anybody. And I think that's what I learned the most from her. And we used to have conversations all the time, even though sometimes I kind of went out of there and overboard with some of the conversations. But I mean, she always listened. So my grandma had a big heart.
I think as far as my mom goes, like what it was like, growing up with her is she's like 5'2", but she ain't to be played with. So, but she always like loved on me, no matter what. And one thing that stuck out to me is that she said to me recently. I forgot what we were talking about. She just called me one day. We were just talking. She was just checking on me. And she was like, if you need something, let me know. Cause you never asked me for anything. So, if you need anything, just let me know. So, I don't know, I'm the type of one that I always try to get it myself. But it's good to know that, she got my back no matter what. Mm-hmm. And as far as my grandmother goes, I know like all my other cousins, they used to always be jealous and call me grandma's baby because I had, a very special connection with my grandma. Like, I could come to her and talk to her about anything. And one thing that she said to me that I'll never forget is when I moved to Fayetteville. And, people always say, you work too much. All you do is work. And she would always tell me, work hard while you can. You ain't always going to have the opportunity to, to go, get what you can now. So just work hard while you can. Right. So.
Absolutely. One of those things that when I think about my mom, Anita, like I said, man, I draw strength from her, just from watching her. But like that little 5'2", 120 something, 30 pounds, whatever she is, she's small in stature, man, but she won't one to play with. She hit like she was 6 foot, 6 foot, 300 pounds. So, like I said, my mom wasn't one to play with. She was kind of like your mom, like Miss Glenda. She didn't love on you all the time like that. Now we had fun with my mom. My mom was fun or whatever. So she did activities with us. As far as like the mushiness, that wasn't my mom. That wasn't her style. But it was no doubt she loved us. That was no doubt. We were so attached, to my mom. The I love yous didn't come as often like that. My dad is the mushy one, even though, big, strong guy, but he also has a softer side. My mom is a little bit more stern or whatever. But, growing up there in New York, with my mom, I saw her hustle, so she was one of those that was like, go get it, like, it ain't gonna come to you. It's not gonna fall in your lap. You want something, go get it. And my mother literally is the embodiment of YOLO. She says all the time, live your life, enjoy life, because that's how she does. My mom enjoys life, man. Mm-hmm. I get my traveling spirit from her. Like, lady cruises every year, sometimes twice a year. She's always looking for the next trip, man. She is she's not a couch potato at all. So, and I get that from her in a sense where, like, I just like to go. I like to do things. I like to try new things, in a sense, like if I had to compare my two parents, she's the adventurous one, so I get my sense of adventure from her. And I believe, one of my sisters, she does too. Like, you can't catch that lady sitting down, man. She's always just going somewhere, so, man, I don't know. And then another thing is she, like, when it came like education, man, like she pushed me. She pushed me, not like in a punishment type way, but she was just like I said, again, it ain't gonna come to you. It's not gonna fall in your lap. Like, you got to go out there and, you got to get it. Like, she wanted us to, like, go out and, like, do things and try new things. So, like, and she's very open-minded, like, when it comes to, like, almost anything that I bring to her. So, like, and I know I can go to her and tell her anything, you know what I'm saying? So, and now, those are qualities that I appreciate in her, so now that we talked about that, though, we do know it ain't always, sunshine and flowers, sometimes. And actually, before I move on, I would be remiss if I didn't, say anything about my grandmothers, because when I moved to North Carolina down here, I moved down here with my dad's mom, and y'all know my granny, just as sweet as can be, but also a firecracker. So like she'll cook you some food, and she'll give you whatever she has. She'll give you her last if if you needed it. She'll also cuss you out, and I'm just being straight up. She's one of those. Look, if you do the wrong thing, she pulls no punches. I get my bluntness from her. If it comes to her mind, there is no filter between brain and mouth. She says it. And sometimes when I was younger growing up, she used to rub me the wrong way. I was like, I can't believe she said that, man. But I'm like, no, she said it. She said it, and she meant it too. Every time. My mom's mom, I'm their favorite too. I'm like, I was grandma's favorite, both of them. And so I was a little bit spoiled. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, whatever. Shoot me, sue me, whatever. Now her on the other hand, she's a little bit. I don't know. My other grandma, she's out there. You never know what's gonna come out of her mouth, man. Like, you ever like cringe when somebody's talking to somebody else because you like, what the hell are they going? What are they about to say? My mom's mom was like that when I was growing up. Like, especially like if she got into a debate or an argument with someone, you cringe because like, I don't know what 4 letters about to come out of her mouth for, but it ain't about to be good. But no, they the sweetest people in the world, man. They took care of me. They gave me everything. Like I said, I was spoiled growing up. Especially on my mom's side of the family. I was the only boy. But like I said, it won't always sunshine and peaches. So any disagreements and things like that with your moms, guys? I know we had them. That's okay. You can admit it. I mean, she can still whoop you today, but you can say it. Now you get a pass today.
Disagreements. We talking about what was it?
No, just disagreements.
Okay, cool,
No,
cool.
just disagreements.
I remember when I was starting off in college or whatnot, and she wanted me to take the nursing field or whatever, and I actually had I think my major was athletic training and whatnot at first, and I when I get in my sophomore year, I was like, man, I don't like this, and for my mom, like for me, and Clay knows how I am, I like to try to please everybody, make everybody happy or whatnot. And it came to a point where I was like, Mom, I don't think I could do this. Like, this isn't making me happy, whatever. So we had a nice disagreement, and I told her like, I'm all about computers. This is my passion. That's what I want to go after. And she was telling me like, like the nursing field is like where the money's at and whatnot. But eventually, I mean, she kind of understood like, hey, this is my life, and you need to be happy with your decisions. So, but yeah, so.
Man, I don't know if I had many disagreements with my parents, my grandmother and my mother. I would tell you this: they allowed me to make a lot of decisions by myself, whether they was right or wrong. But they also was there to help me when I needed them to help me. But I got a lot of that tough love, man. So and maybe that's why I don't give Marcus that much tough love, because I got a lot of it when I was growing up. But I'm pretty sure we had disagreements. I just can't remember any of them. But they did allow me to be me, and they also allowed me to do things for my own. So,
for me, I mean, I can't think of like no like major like life-changing or life-affecting disagreement, but the only disagreement that really comes to mind right now is like back in the day when we had the big screen TV in the living room. I used to plug up my game system to it. She didn't want me to plug it up. And all my friends be like, I know you've been playing this game all day. All your friends here, you got the game system hooked up in the living room. But that's the only thing I can remember.
My grandma didn't let me do that either, man.
Now
I had to play it in the bedroom.
You gonna burn out my TV?
Burn out my TV. Yeah. Couldn't play it in the living room. I did it anyway.
You know it.
So if I had to really think about like a disagreement, like none major. I mean, my mom, like I said, my mom was kind of like Miss Glenda. She they gave tough love at the same time, but they also allowed me to make decisions and choices. And if I fell on my butt, I fell on my butt, but they allowed me to do it, and they would help pick me up, And let me clarify that, because one of the things they never did was they never saved me from falling. And I think that was probably like one of the most valuable things they ever did for me growing up was they never saved me from the fall. If there was a decision that I wanted to make, whether they liked it or not, they was like, okay, go for it. This is my opinion on it, but it's your life. You do what you want to do. And, but they allowed the fall if it came, but they were there to pick me up afterwards, or at least tell me how to pick myself up, so, and, that was always something that was very valuable. Now, one of the disagreements that my mom and I have had, which we've been having this disagreement for years to come. And I finally stood my ground on it recently. And my mother, even though I'm a grown man, she nearly almost forbid me all these years from buying a motorcycle. I ride motorcycles. You can thank my dad. My dad put me on a motorcycle when I was 13. I've loved them ever since. But even when I bought my first bike when I was 18, she wasn't happy. She didn't like that decision at all, and she actually voiced it. When she found out a couple of weeks ago that I was getting ready to buy. Now, I put this off now almost 16 years now, because every time I said I was going to buy a bike, I got her in my ear. You don't need a bike. You're going to kill yourself. All this other stuff. I don't want to see you ride a bike, anything like that. So I literally been putting it off for years. So finally the other day, I'm like, I'm almost 35 years old. I ain't scared of her no more. So, but I was like, I knew when I went and signed, I went and signed at the bank to get that bike. I already knew who was going to give me the most opposition. And it's so funny because when I was telling my dad that I actually, bought the bike, he was like, I think your mother was coming to talk to you about that very thing. I said, well, she's a little late now. I said, because I done already bought that bike. So, and the day when I brought it over to her house, I had wrote it over to her house the day that I bought it. She didn't say nothing, but she's one of those people, her silence said more than any words could say. She looked at the bike and she looked at me and she kept on doing what she was doing. And I was waiting for her to say something, and my dad had said something to me. He was like, "Your mom want to talk to you about that bike," but literally she didn't say nothing. And I ain't gonna lie, the whole time I was sitting out there in front of her house on that motorcycle, I was just like, it was almost like an anxiety. Like I was just waiting. I was waiting for her to say something about this motorcycle, and she never did. But like I said, man, her silence spoke volumes. So I knew everything, that I knew whatever was on her mind, and it won't good. No, but and I appreciate it. I already know where it comes from. It comes from a place of love. She don't want to see her baby get hurt, and things like that, because people get hurt. And the one thing she did say to me was, which is not something I needed to hear when I was about to jump out on the road on his bike. She was like, somebody just got killed on a motorcycle over there by your house the other day. Oh, man. And I was like, yeah, thanks. That's exactly what I needed to hear. So, but like I said, it came from a place of love. We talk about all these qualities and, that in our moms and grandmas and all of that, let me ask you guys, when you are, when you're looking for a mate, a partner or your wives or whatever, was there anything about your mom or your mother figures in your lives that you admire, that you look for in a mate necessarily? Is there anything that you say like, man, my mom is this, man, I gotta have that in a woman?
So starting off, I'll say that at first, no, I was like, man, I don't want a woman like my mom at all. But like now, like seeing how my mom was like a go-getter, like she was independent. I definitely wanted a woman that was independent, that she didn't always have to wait on me. Sometimes I understand that a woman would need my help or whatnot, but I wouldn't want her to have a mind for herself. For my grandmother, I looked into a woman that had that was good with kids, that was comforting and nice and kind and whatnot. And I mean, that's everything I found in Marissa. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think of course you try to find somebody just like your mother or your grandmother, because they are your first love, man. Those are the people that you want to model your family out there as well. Mm-hmm. My grandma is very kind, and my wife is also very kind. So I don't think I would have married anybody that wasn't close to my grandmother or my mother. So I think, absolutely. I'm pretty sure you guys can probably find somebody that's going to be similar to your mother or your grandmother.
Well, Clayton already had somebody.
So being a single man, Clay, do you now take some of those qualities that you admire about your mom and do you apply that to dating now? Like, is there anything that you say like necessary? Like, all right, this is what my mom has this. I like this, even if it's subconsciously doing it. Is there anything that you know?
You're always gonna be subconsciously.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Yep.
I think that I've never really like consciously thought about it, but sitting back thinking over it, like you subconsciously look for what and like my grandma, like one thing that I cherished about her, she loved on anybody, even if like they done it wrong, she's still gonna love on you the next time she sees you. She's not gonna hold a grudge. And like my mom, I remember her like days where she would go to work at 5 a.m. She would come home, make sure me and my sisters like done our homework, cook a meal. Like she worked away from home and at home, and like those are qualities that I would love to have too, because I want to have kids. I want someone that's gonna be active in the home as well. So I think subconsciously we look for those things more so than even like consciously. So
yeah, absolutely. And I have to agree there. Like I don't think I've ever like outwardly like said like my mom is this and I like this about my mom, so I definitely want this in a woman. So, but definitely subconsciously, like one of the things that I admire about my mom is her, like I said, is her spirit of adventure. Like she likes to go, and I get that from her. So I think I do look for that in a woman, in a way, like someone who is as open-minded as my mom. My mom is like that too. She doesn't hold grudges or whatever. My mom likes everybody until she has an absolute reason not to. And it's one of those where, like, how sometimes you bring somebody home to meet the family or whatever. It doesn't matter what's wrong or right with that person. My mom will accept them. She was like, I don't have to be with them. You do. So if you like it, I love it. That's her phrase. If you like it, I love it. So it doesn't matter. Now, she's not going to stand for nobody, mistreating her son, because I did hear her say once that she was, a girl that I was with before, she was like, long as she don't put her hands on you, because I'm still young enough, if we got to do that thing, we would, but that's her only thing. Don't put your hands on her son, because she is still young enough to bust you up, So, but yeah, man, like her sense of adventure, her open-mindedness, and then overall just being fun, like just wanting to have a good time. That's my mom, and I do look for those things in women, man, because I don't want to be bored to death. And I don't want no woman, like, I've actually left out of relationship. I've been turned off by certain dating situations because they didn't want to go nowhere. Their idea of having fun was going over to a cousin's house, playing cards and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, that's cool every now and then, but let's take a cruise. Let's jump on a flight and go somewhere. And I know that if I ever go to my mom and say, hey, Mom, let's go on a cruise. Let's go to Bahamas, Jamaica, wherever. She like, okay, just tell me when my bag's packed. That's her. And I want a woman like that just wants to go, especially if we have the financial means and the time to go. Let's do it, because I'm not a couch potato like that. Like I can't just sit at home and never do anything like at all. So that's definitely something that I look for in it. So in our house, the way we grew up, I'm pretty sure we all got it. What was some of the worst, as we kind of go, we kind of take it back in the day a little bit. What was some of the worst butt whoopings or punishments you ever got?
I love you, Mom. So I don't know how old I was, but I think we went to the store and like we was looking at some, like my mom was like buying some stuff, and you know how little kids are, you see stuff, you pick it up and whatnot. So I saw some candy. I was like, Mommy, can I get this? She was like, no, I don't want it. And I said, Mommy, you know what? I wish she was white. Man.
Did she beat the black off?
Yeah, she did. It was so bad, I don't even remember what happened. So, and then my grandmother, so downstairs, you remember how downstairs was. So yeah, it's like our old house was like a second house at the in the basement or whatever, but she told me not to like run on her couch and like grab her blinds and everything like that. So I ran. I thought I was Tarzan. I swung on the little curtain, and the thing broke.
Yeah.
And
you got it.
And my grandma like opened the top door, and she's like, "Bo, what you doing down there?" I was like, nothing." I heard the door close and I heard her coming downstairs. She had that shoe, and she went to work. So yeah.
I bet you ain't waiting for no more curtains.
No.
I'm just trying to figure out how y'all got different levels of ass whoopings that y'all got. It's like,
What?
I didn't have different levels, but if I got an ass whooping, they went full tilt. So I can't sit there and say which one was worse because all of them was pretty bad.
We did. I don't know. At my house,
We won't no levels.
No, I don't know. Sometimes in my house, you got a 3-tier ass whipping. It really just depends on what you did.
No.
They were all 3 bad though.
All mine was the same. All mine was the same. But I will tell you this: I learned more from the conversations that I had with my with my grandmother. I guess because she got too old to beat me, but I learned a lot more from the conversations that we had, and by her just saying that she was proud of me, and that went a long way.
I mean, I see what Malcolm was saying. All the butt whoopings was pretty bad, but one that I remember, like me and my cousin Quan, we used to always like do crazy stuff in the yard, like build ramps and jump our bikes over it, and just do all kinds of daredevil crap. We destroyed Tonka trucks. We were supposed to have been indestructible. We destroyed them. But I remember one day me and Quan was outside. I don't know. I guess we were bored. My dad had these 2 old cars in the backyard, and we was just like running across the hood, up the windshield, across the roof to the trunk, just going back and forth from both cars. And then Quan stepped on the windshield. I was like, I was like, man, what we gonna do? Then my mom found. I don't even know how she found out. We cracked it. Like as soon as it cracked. She knew. I'm like, what the heck?
That third eye, boy.
Man, we got beat. But then my grandma, this is like a third party butt whooping. I didn't even get the whooping. I remember this one. I don't remember what my younger sister did, but we was all in the yard, and my grandma, she had a switch, and like she was like Jason Voorhees. She was like walking my sister down. My sister was running, but she could never get away from my grandma. She was just walking her down. I guess she got tired. Boy, when she got to her, woo.
Oh yeah, matter of fact, I just remember one. So when I was in school, when I was in Maryland or whatnot, I had someone write notes for me in school saying like I did good.
This already ain't starting out good.
So I was like always acting up in class, and I think I actually went in the teacher's desk and like stole some gummy bears or whatever, ate it. So I had the note. I was all happy. I got inside. My mom sat down, gave me that look. Went in the kitchen, heard her come on that water. Had a and like you know me, like she had some like really hot pepper. You know that like that hot pepper. She mushed it up, was stirring it up. My sister was looking at me, and the door was wide open. I said, you know what? I'm gonna take my chance. I'm gonna run out that door. Man, I ran. My sister tackled me, and my mom came up there and said, "Soup." Put that pepper in my nose. Man, that junk. Oh man. But, yeah.
That was a butt whipping, boy.
Yeah, man.
That sound like child abuse.
That pepper.
I was thinking, like,
That sound like child
That
abuse.
Liberian butt
Yeah,
whooping.
that pepper gets you right.
Oh man.
check it. It just crashed. Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulty. The one now I got plenty of them. Let's just be honest. I got plenty of butt whippings, man, and because I was one of those kids, I was a little too smart for my own good, so I was like always into something. I was always into something. I was always doing something, and I was literally that kid that if you said don't do, I did. I was that kid. You know, so
you like to test authority, huh?
I did, and he was, it was so stupid because I knew what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen when she found out. She won't go and yell or nothing like that. I was just going to get it, and I knew it before I did it. But I always had this little stupid thing about me, like, yeah, I can get away with it this time. I never got away with it. No, I think I did it because I knew there were some things I thought I was getting away with behind her back. Man, she saw everything. And I still got caught, But the one that stood out the most, which I did this twice, and I got my ass tore up both times, literally. So one time, now my sister Brittany, y'all know she has really long hair. When we were younger, Brittany had, the little twist in her hair and everything, or whatever, like little girls wear in their hair. And my mom, I decided that, I don't know, it was like her hair was just calling out to me, bruh. And the pair of scissors that was laying, this pair of scissors that I had, man, it was calling out to me, bruh. So I picked up the pair of scissors. I walked over to my sister, who was not even paying attention. Brittany was facing in the opposite direction, hair all the way down to her shoulder. At the end was a little beret on. You know, the little girls used to, back in the day, little girls were little girls, so they wore berets. So, and I was playing with the scissors, and I snipped twice, not touching her hair the first 2 times, and then I decided I was going to get just a wee bit closer. And so when I cut a little bit closer, bruh, the whole damn braid just fell straight to the floor, beret and everything's still on it. My mother just so happened to be coming in the house at literally the right moment. And Brittany was like, what did you do? Like, and then all of a sudden my mother was like, did you cut her hair? No, I couldn't say no. And mind you now, the hair is on the floor. I'm standing there with a pair of...
I still would have said no.
Bruh, it was literally one of those ones I couldn't say no. Bruh, I'm sitting there with the scissors in my hand looking like Edward Scissorhands or whatever, and the hair's on the floor. She took that, them little slippers they used to wear, them little floppy slippers. She tore my ass up, bruh. I still have nightmares about that to this day. I remember... And she was just like, why did you cut her hair? And then she just got to swinging, bro. I'm telling you, I know if you're listening, I'm still going to call Child Protective Services because I think that was low-key child abuse because I'm still scarred today. I swear I still got, people think it's my birthmark over here on my right leg. That ain't no damn birthmark. That's still a slipper mark.
No, it's probably a birthmark because you died and were reborn.
Came back to her head.
Bro, and I said, bro, I got some bad whoopings in my day, but I swear that was literally the worst when she found out when she saw that I cut my sister's hair. And not only did I just cut a piece off, I cut it almost like a few inches from the scalp. So Brittany's hair was at her shoulder everywhere else except for this one spot. She had this little nugget of hair out there, bro. I got it so bad, bro. Oh man, I still remember that to this day. I'll never forget that. I can forget anything else from my childhood when it comes to punishments or whatever. I'll never forget that one, man. I think I was traumatized, man. like low key traumatized. So anyway, I'm having I'm going through a little PTSD right now talking about. But so look, Malcolm and Mazio. We talk about our moms, but we also have children. Talk about the mother of your children. And what type of moms they are to your kids, and and how that how that has prepared you as a dad. The roles that they play in their lives. So talk about that.
So Marissa, is a phenomenal woman. Christian, just all around home. Just as a homebody. She's just an awesome woman. I can't. No woman in this world is perfect, but she is close. The way she treats our kids with love and compassion, and is very patient as well. I know there's times where she's her. You can tell that she's tired or whatnot, but yet she pours out all of her love into her kids. So I couldn't have asked for a better wife than her. Kudos, Marissa. Really appreciate you. But yeah, Yeah.
Mazio trying to get him a little bit tonight.
She got to be pretty strong to deal with you,
I'm trying.
He's trying to get him a little bit tonight.
I'm trying.
I would say. I would say Bree is phenomenal, though. I would tell you that. I think she's a better parent than me. She does. She put the kids first before anything. She won't buy herself anything. And I tell her sometimes you got to buy yourself some things. You can't just put everything into your kids. But that's the only thing that she have on her mind. The kids are the biggest blockers, Mazzy, I would tell you.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? Telling a woman like that, them strong moms, man, telling them don't put everything into their kids is like telling them, it's like telling a human not to breathe. They
do.
That's what they get up for every day, and it's a great quality.
And she is really kind. The only thing that we do disagree on a little bit is discipline. She quick to pop, and I think that has to be your last option. I think you should have more teachable moments than beatable moments, and y'all need to quote me on that.
Hell no. Hell no, because I disagree, but go ahead.
And you might be able to disagree, but I would tell you this: that belt never taught you one lesson.
Yeah, it did. It told me not to cut my sister's hair again.
It didn't teach you a lesson. It got you afraid, but it didn't teach you a lesson.
How fast you was, should have told you.
You learned a lesson after your parents gave you a conversation
Absolutely.
about that lesson.
Well,
So you can disagree, you can do all you want.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that because, like, you know, my mom, I didn't get many whoopings growing up.
Lucky.
I really didn't get into too much, but my mom would always whoop me. But my dad, he never whooped us. Like, he would just, like, well, he'd yell pretty loud and, like, he'd put the fear of God in you. Yeah. But then, you know, we have a conversation with him. So I think, you know, having both parents, you know,
that's what I was about to get at is that her being the way that she is, it balances it out, and I think our kids gonna get a really good upbringing.
Yeah, it's like that because I know me. I especially growing up with the parents that I have, they did balance it. Because now don't get me wrong, my mom gave you some tough beat downs, but my dad was more of the disciplinarian or whatever. But and see, in me, I'm the disciplinarian, so I know that, you know, like even with my son, he knows I'm a disciplinarian. Like, if anybody's gonna get you, it's gonna be me. Like, and don't get me wrong, I do the teachable moments because you're right, they are very valuable. You know, the butt whipping puts the fear of God in you, but those conversations, you know, they do more of life lessons. Like, this is why you don't do that.
Now,
like,
I didn't never say butt whippings wasn't an option.
No,
it still is an option, but it shouldn't be your first option.
I wouldn't say first, but it sure ain't my last all the time. So it might be second on the list. I might say don't. I might say don't once, maybe twice. By the time I say it again,
yeah, I mean, it should.
Now I'm saying don't move because now I'm about to get you. So don't run. Because if I got so I did that too with my mom. I ran one time. Never do that. You never run. You get an extra beat down because now she got to chase you, boy.
Well, what I'm saying is, if a 3-year-old do magic marker on your wall, your 3-year-old doesn't know it's wrong to color on the wall yet until you teach them.
Yeah.
Now, after you teach them and they still do it, and at that point, that's when you escalate the disciplinary at that point.
Just leave your kid with magic markers,
Or just don't do that.
Right.
But, you know, some parents are quick to whoop their kids for writing on the wall, but they don't know if it's wrong yet until you teach them that it's wrong.
Absolutely.
With a magic marker.
So, you know, so look, we, you know, all of us, you know, we're in our 30s or whatever, and
Nah, y'all in y'all 30s.
I know you in your 40s. You the oldest one.
I'm 25.
I'm 21.
You know, when we think about today, you know, and we think about our moms and all of that, what's your relationship like with her today?
Me and my mom have a really good relationship, and I mean, she definitely has a really good relationship with her grandkids as well. I mean, our bond is strong, and it remains to be so. Even though she's in another state, working all the time or whatnot, but we try to make time to like do. You about to laugh, Marco Polo or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, we definitely have a strong relationship, and I mean, nothing can sever that or break that. So
yeah, I still got a pretty good relationship with my moms. My moms actually keep my daughter Addie while I'm at work, so I see my moms probably every week, and I try to call my grandma pretty often. We always have a conversation. She's still scared. She still thinks she can cook better than me on the grill. But she was at my house last weekend. We had 2 grills out there. She didn't try to get on one. So I'm calling you out, Mamie.
She said it's your
but
turn,
you got. But no, I still got a pretty close relationship with both of them. So
I think over the years, my relationship with my mom evolved a lot because, you know, when I was younger, I never really like sat down and had like conversations the way that we do now. I think like, you know, when I left home is when our relationship really strengthened actually, because, you know, I'm not right there. I think sometimes even as parents, you can take your relationship with your kids for granted and not, you know, have conversations with them. They're there every day. So I think that can happen with any relationship you have, whether it's romantic, whether it's parents or friends. You can take it for granted when they're always right there. So, and you know, I'm always doing something. So sometimes it's hard to get a hold of me. But when I do have a conversation with my mom now, like I value it because we don't have many conversations. And I've even had conversations with with my mom. I felt like I helped her like grow and look at things from a different perspective as well, just from my experiences and things like that. So I think we help this point in our relationship. We help each other grow to this day.
Yeah, I have to really agree with that because when you're younger, the parent-child relationship, of course, it's different. It's supposed to be. They are busy, handling, they're busy handling, business and raising their kids and things like that. But now that we're older, like I always had that relationship with my mom where I could tell her anything. But now that I'm older and I'm a parent and, out of the house and all of that, living my own life, and she doesn't have that. She still, as a parent, she still has that stress and worry about her kids. It doesn't matter that her kids are in their 30s.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't turn off. And, but it's not as bad as it used to be. So we can, have different types of conversations. I definitely can say that our relationship has evolved. Because me and Anita, we literally get on the phone and we cut up. And one of the favorite things that we still do to this day, like when I'm getting ready for work in the morning and she's on her way to work, like we literally get on the phone, man, and we just talk about like the dumbest things, and we just have like a good laugh. Or sometimes it's just catching up. Hey, I ain't talked to you in a few days, and she'll tell me some things on her mind and I'll tell her some things on my mind. And I still bounce things off my mom to this day because I still need that motherly advice, and that's not to say that I always take it because, we're hard-headed sometimes, and plus, we're adults, you're going to make your own decisions. But I go to her specifically because she's unbiased in her, even though people say otherwise. My dad says otherwise. He was like, you're your mother's baby. She always going to take your side. But what he doesn't realize is when me and mommy have those one-on-one conversations, I tell her what's on my mind. If I'm wrong, she calls me out every time. She will tell me I'm wrong. She doesn't put me down. She just tells me I'm wrong, and she tells me what I can do to fix that. So, like, when I need my moral compass checked, that's who I go to because I know she will check me. Because the first thing, like, especially like when relationship stuff, I'll ask her for some advice, and her stance always is, well, before I'm a mother, before I'm a friend or whatever have you, she was like, I'm a woman first, so I can speak to you as a woman. And I cherish that. I cherish that advice, when I go to her. So, my relationship with her today, like we've grown closer, and I've talked about this before. Like we have a special bond between the two of us, so like I wouldn't go so far. Like I don't like sometimes when people say like, oh, my parent is my best friend. I don't think you really transition to friends. I think the dynamic of your relationship just changes. And maybe in some aspects, it's a little bit lighter, because you're an adult. So I would never say like my mom is my friend per se. We just have different types of conversations, and the relationship is a little bit different. And I appreciate that.
After Marcus and Addie get out of my house and I don't got to pay their bills, then we can be friends at that point. But if they living in my house and I'm paying for college and all those things, then we not friends.
Yeah, exactly. Look, first of all, I don't need no 5-year-old friends. I don't need first of all, anybody that can't pay for them. If I still got to pay for your draws, we can't be friends. That's like even with my son. My son is almost 17. We ain't friends. We hang out sometimes. Like he comes and we do fun activities, but we do that as father and son. We are not friends. Dude, no. I still buy you draws. We are not friends, So, but now, given those relationships that we have, with our moms today, and strictly speaking of today, what's, the best piece of advice that she gives you now?
I would say the best advice she gives me, wow, I mean, so much. To never give up. Like I said, always give everything that I do 100%, no matter what. No matter what the situation may look like, how tired I may be or whatever. Just to always dig deep and make sure that I finish it and give it my all. So, yeah.
I would say this. My grandma used to always tell me, always be kind to people because it costs you nothing to be nice to somebody. So always be kind and always pray on things. You know, my grandma was a Baptist. She used to go to church every Sunday. Every Saturday morning after football games, she used to cook breakfast, and I would wake up because she used to be singing gospel music and cooking food at the same time. But always be kind to people.
I think my mom, she tells what I need to do better at. She tells me all the time, but I don't always do it. But she was just saying, I need to like cultivate the relationships like with like my nephews and just people that you have influence over.
Yep.
Just make sure that you call them and take the time out of your day to reach out to them, make sure they're okay. Just keep those relationships going and strengthen those relationships. As far as my grandma, I don't think the direct things that she's ever said to me are the most important things. I think it's just the actions that she took stick out to me. Just like I said, just the way she would just be good to everybody, no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. And same thing here. It's those indirect things that stand out the most. With my mom, but as far as words go, the best piece of advice that she gives me now, like I said, she's been giving me my whole life, and especially now, as I, at a different stage in my life, a little bit more, financially stable, more secure in different things in my life. The thing she tells me all the time is, after all the hard work is done and this and that, enjoy your life. She says that all the time. And even just in our casual conversations, she slips that in there somewhere, like when we're talking about stuff, like I could be complaining about something or telling her about like I'm tired or whatever the case may be. She was like, yeah, work hard, take care of yourself, take care of your family, your bills, whatever. But at the end of the day, enjoy your life because you only get one, and I would probably say that, some people take that as, being carefree, but that's not what she means by it. And she means it. You only get one life, and you only get one life to live, enjoy it. Because like I said, one thing that she says all the time, she was like, I don't know when I'm going to leave this world, but one thing, when I do leave this world, one thing I can't say is that I didn't enjoy my life. And, and that's something that I admire and I chase, because when my time comes for me to go to my heavenly home, the one regret I don't want to have is that I didn't enjoy my life, man. So I love that piece of advice that she gives me, man. I hold on to that all the time. And actually, it's why I do work so hard, so that I can enjoy life. I can take trips, buy the things that I like even if it is stuff that she don't really approve of, like motorcycles, you know what I'm saying? So, I get out there and I still enjoy my life. So, I appreciate that, like just instilling that in me and pushing it. She doesn't come up with some fancy saying or whatever, something like that. It's just as simple as enjoy your life. And as far as my grandmothers go, both of them, I honestly have to say, both of them gave me Jesus. They, whether it be just through watching them through action, praying and going to church and just cultivating that relationship with God, that's what the two of them gave me. And I think that's the best thing that they ever gave me was Jesus. And to this day, anything that happens in my life, good or bad, they always just say, pray to God. And I can't ask for any better advice, than that. So as we close out, guys, I hope they're listening, but even if they're not, this podcast is on Anchor. So moms, y'all can go back and listen to it. We help all y'all get the Anchor app. So,
we're also on Spotify.
Right. Spotify, Apple,
and Google.
But if they are listening, what do you want to say to your mom today?
Mommy, I just want to say I love you with all my heart. No, let me stop. Yeah, mommy, you're my heart. I love you. I wouldn't have made it this far without you and just everything that you instilled in me and my brother and my two sisters. I truly appreciate your sacrifice, your hard work. I've seen you work 3 jobs just to keep afloat and just keep us with clothes on our backs and food on the table, whatnot. You allowed me to go stay with my grandparents so I can get, move further and move up in the world or whatnot. So, I mean, I appreciate your sacrifice. I mean, just everything that you've done, what you're still doing. I mean, I appreciate the strong, beautiful Black African queen that you are. And I'll always have so much respect for you, and that'll never change. For my grandmother, she's not here, and this will be the first year that I won't be able to say Happy Mother's Day or whatnot. But Grandma, I know you're watching down on me, and just everything, the love, that you poured into me and into my friends that that have met her. I mean, she's always talked highly about everybody in this room. And especially Donald, I mean, like, she allowed Donald to stay with me. And, I mean, we cut it up and had a great time and whatnot. But, I mean, just the love that she shared and just, like, cooking meals and different things like that. But just the awesome woman that she is, the independent woman that she always was or whatnot. I mean, I'll always cherish the memories, the lessons, the talks that we've had. So I love both of y'all.
So I'm gonna keep it short because Mazio pretty much hit on everything that everybody probably was gonna say. I'm gonna just go ahead and say thank you for birthing me, because God knows that you didn't have to do it, but you did it anyway. And I want to just say thank you for everything.
Yeah, agreed. I just want to tell my mom, like, I appreciate that everything you've done for me over the years, the love that you poured on me, the support. When I have my crazy ideas and different stuff that I want to do, you support me. Like, even if you don't understand it, you always say, go out there and do it, and work hard at it. So I just appreciate who you are and who you helped me grow to be.
Absolutely. And I mean, I agree with the guys. Mazio really said it all. But the one thing I really want to say to my mom, Anita, I love you. When I think about what a strong Black queen is, it is you. You embody that definition, and I thank God for your strength, because I still draw on that strength today. I thank you for everything that you've ever given me, and even though sometimes you may feel like, I don't need you anymore, and sometimes she does feel like sometimes I don't need her anymore, but don't take that the wrong way. If I ever seem like I don't need you anymore, it's because you've poured so much of you into me that I am able to stand strong as a Black man on my own 2 feet, because you gave me every tool that I needed to succeed in life, not only as a Black man, but just as a member of society. So you gave me everything. And I just thank you. Like, I can't say thank you enough for everything, the butt whippings, the conversations, the laughs, the joy, the fun, all of that. Like, I appreciate all of that. Like, and like I said, again, like I thank God for your strength, and I mean, I love you. To my grandmothers, I thank them for their strength, and I thank them for their humility. I thank them for the life lessons that they give me, and I still am blessed to be able to receive those lessons today. So and they still give them to me today. Now, I help them with a lot of things. Like, they call me and ask me for help with a lot of things, but they don't even realize that while I'm over there helping them, they're still helping me with things. Like, I learned so much from them, even just through simple conversations. They are teaching me, and I thank God, man, that I'm still able to, receive that wisdom and that love and that guidance. Like, they nurture me, man. Like, I'm the seed and they're the water, man. They just keep pouring into me, and they keep pouring into me, and I appreciate it. And to my granny, I'll be there tomorrow to help clean out that garage. So I'll be there in the morning. All right, guys. It's been another episode of the After 29 podcast, man. Until next time, peace.
Peace.